So I'd seen a tweet where this girl had said, Nini, if my boyfriend agrees with Shada, the relationship is over. So I was like, why? Because the things he's touching on, he's telling you to stay morally upright. He might not be saying it in a very friendly way, but he wants you are the gatekeeper of character. If women all say no to each other, then it won't happen. Men have to marry in order to get things that they want outside of marriage.
Yo, what's Gucci, what's Fendi, what's poppin'? Brand new whip, nah fam, I just hopped in. Welcome back to the Sicology Podcast with your boy Psycho. Inside. Anyway, in this episode, special episode, I'm joined by a lovely lady. Who's an engineer. Okay, let me not expose too much, but let me just be honest. I saw her tweets and then I found out she's someone who has a podcast and is on radio. And I was like, this is some nice opinions out here. Some of them very, what do they call them? Should I say controversial? Yeah. But otherwise, I don't care because I wanted to hear what she had to say. So I was like, yo, please come through and let's talk about some of these things that you may say. So without further ado, please welcome my special guest today. Her name is Rutendo. Yo, what's up, Rutendo? How you doing?
I'm all right. Thank you so much. You were trying to flatter me in that introduction.
Yeah, you gotta set the stage. But please just introduce yourself briefly, what your name is, where you're from, what you do, etc.
Okay, so my name is Rutendo, like you said. I'm 25 years old. I just turned 25 last week. And I'm a female student at NAS. I'm at the National University of Science and Technology, and I'm studying electronic engineering. However, you've met me in the streets where I like to talk about, women, men's issues. So yeah.
No Friday night, Coco.
No Friday night.
Yeah. So yeah, man, like you had so many, like you've got a lot of tweets. I'll be honest, right?
I do. I do.
And some of those tweets is she trying to get cancelled? What's happening?
Or trying to get kicked.
Yeah, so they call them pick means, as they call them in quotes.
They do.
But there's an interesting tweet, right, that you posted today. Well, by the time this episode, it won't be today, but it's today as we were talking, and I was like, you know what, we need to talk about something in line with that. So the topic at hand is, what is a good woman? That's the topic at hand. But it was based on her on you tweeting that, you know what, you actually agree with some of what Shada says. I swear someone listening to this is probably gonna be like, hey guys, wait, listen up, Chimbomira, don't just let's listen. Let's talk here. What is a good woman to Rutendo? Like just that.
Okay. Well, I think that is a very complicated question, It's a very hard question to considering we're moving in a society where good is relative now. What's good to you might not be good to me. It's a little bit complicated. But what I would love to define as a good woman is, a woman who carries, universal values that people just all agree on. If you're an honest woman, if you are an independent woman, if you are a virtuous, so a woman with integrity in any society whatsoever, that is a good woman. I think the problem just comes when people are trying to actually get into the details now of what good is. That's when we start to have differences. But
Mm.
inherently, the values that you are exhibiting should show that you are a good woman.
But what are values? Like, how do we best define values? Because that's where,
Well,
some people may take it like, what values? Because there's different values, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, values are just, your individual beliefs. They are like your ethics or your morals and the things that just serve as a guide to how you are behaving. So yeah. I wanted to give you an example of how relative good has become now.
Okay.
You think of a woman who every night goes to a strip club and dresses herself, dances on a pole, just so she could make money to provide for her children. Is that a good woman to you, or that's not? You see, it becomes complicated.
Wait.
Because to her,
what's good? Like, okay. Good in what sense?
she's working hard, doing what she can to provide for her children. So some would say that that's not a good woman. Others would say, well, actually, she's trying to provide for her children. That's a good woman. And, people start having arguments about it. But what she's trying to do inherently is to provide for her children, which is a good thing, right?
True, yes. How did she get those children in the first place? That's my question. Before we even go. Because
the father died.
Oh, okay. Let's just say the father died.
Let's not judge.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think good is relative. Yeah, good is relative. But your value.
So, okay. You're saying good values. Bad values like this stripper. I'm in love with a stripper. She's like doing her thing, yeah.
She's doing her thing to provide for children.
Where she's trying to make
children a better education.
And in one sense, personally, I'll be like, damn, shout out to you. At least you're making a bag. You're better than someone who's just sitting at home doing nothing.
Exactly, but at the same doing time, nothing for the children.
It's almost like is there self-respect into what you're doing to get the money?
Yeah.
It's like
exactly.
If it was a guy, it's like, okay, this guy is stealing from other people. Like literally he's a thief. He's trying to find money for his child, but he's stealing. Which is that
he's
really
stealing
good
from
thing?
Other people.
Whereas can't you get a job?
It depends on who you're asking. It depends on who you're asking. Because if you're asking the children, of the dad who comes home with unexplainable income, they're happy. He's a good dad.
It's like everyone's a good dad and mom to everyone these days, huh?
So
who are the thieves? Who are the strippers? Who are the, like everyone's dad? My dad's the best dad in the world.
Yeah. So you see, if you ask the children, that means he's a good dad.
Yeah, true.
So it's it differs.
So you were okay to you. You mentioned different points. You are like, there's values where how you carry yourself, independent woman, and I forgot you said a third one. Those are like the three main.
Honesty.
Oh, honesty. Okay. Are those like the main brackets that you say in a generic way of a good woman?
I'd say those are the ones that are important to me. Like we said, since it differs. So there's something called a value hierarchy or a value sorter.
What's that?
People prioritize different values based on, maybe their religion or how they were raised, their background, or how they were educated. So depending on that, there are values that are more important to you than others. So maybe to me, self-respect and honesty and integrity makes you really good. But to someone else, maybe just being kind or just being a patient woman or a woman who doesn't speak much or isn't loud about her opinions, who is humble, is a good woman.
Oh, amen.
Yeah.
Good woman. Yeah.
So
I hope
it
the
now
women are listening.
depends on, how was my mother like? Maybe that's how I prioritize my values of what a good woman is. So now it depends on which value is more important to you. But what we cannot deny is that all those values are good, but it now just depends on which ones are important than the other to
Wait,
make you a good woman.
who is it important to? Important to you, the female, or
True.
because there's different setups. Let's say now I want to get into a relationship.
Yeah.
Who's this important to? Is this to you or to the guy that you want to attract?
I would suggest this be important to you because when you're trying to develop values that are good for man, yes,
Mm, mm, mm,
yes,
mm.
you either
Talk to me.
fail at doing it, you
Mm-hmm.
fail at doing it. For example, how most women grow up being told to keep like their virginity for man. They failed at it because they were not doing it for themselves. They were doing it
Mm-hmm.
for other men. And when you do something from that perspective, it will not work. But when you do it for you, that I value this and that, and this is what makes me a good woman, you meet a partner who is attracted to those values. So personally, I would have values I'm grooming in myself, and then I would meet someone who appreciates them and is like, these are spot on. And that should be the partner I should be with. As for you as a man, focus on your own values. Then you find the values that you also want in another woman. Like you find them and you be like, this is what I want in a woman. And you find that and you can get that as a partner. So you should do it for you, definitely not for the other person.
Okay, let me. I'm gonna challenge you right there. Because we're not here
Yeah.
to sing kumbaya. Um, um, okay. I'm taking this from a musical perspective.
Okay.
I make music. Okay, my listeners already know this. But if I want to be the best artist in the world, I'm just gonna make music that just resonates with me, and then I'll attract the right audience. That's what that's it's like it's similar. But then there's situations where let's say ndini hangu komasaiko. I think I'm a good hip hop artist. I think I'm like now Votes JT and start trying to be Votes JT. My G, zing, and I'm like, nah, man, I resonate with this. But then the people reciprocating, for the most part, are like, bruh, you're crap. You're not good at this. You're horrible at this. And me, obviously, my ego tells me no, but I feel like I'm good at trapping like JT. Most marketable is if I get into a more Winky D vibe. Maybe I should be doing dancehall. Maybe that's when I do that. Usually when I do my dancehall sound, people will be like, nah, I like Psycho. Psycho sounds good. So don't you think there should be that consideration, especially like I remember I asked to attract the type of guy that you want, which means there's a certain image. Of course, it's not a perfect person because we can't get perfect people out here. People are fake.
Yeah, true.
But at least 7 out of the 10 of the checklist that you're looking for, you want him. But for him, you'd also want someone like who suits a certain criteria. Shouldn't you also try and kind of meet halfway to shoot that? It's not just about the self.
Well, meeting halfway is pretty vague. What can I say? If I find someone who values like honesty, and maybe to me, I don't feel like honesty is a big deal. I mean, I can just lie to get what I want. But because it's important to my partner, then maybe I could try and start practicing honesty. Or at least can we agree on the values that, I understand this and I respect this value and I want to strive to achieve for it. because obviously you will not agree on everything and everything won't be important to you. But at least let's, let's work together so that this is important to you, I do it. This is important to you, you do it, so that we can agree. I think so. I think that's just how it works.
I like that.
And also, when you're saying like about music, you could start your own genre where you're mixing both the Winky D and false GT trap lines in your dancehall bits.
Exactly.
Maybe now you're staying true to yourself whilst also reaching a target audience. No.
Oh no, that's
so you can do both.
I think there I would agree, because for me, what you said, I get it. As human beings, we are selfish. We genuinely, if we're being honest, don't care about the other person. Let's keep it about
the other person.
But in this world, if you really want unity and you really want to maximize, we need to find a way, a middle. Because I may not like certain things, like you said. Maybe you may be a woman who's very opinionated, who talks too much. A pro tip.
Yeah.
Pro tip for the woman. For most guys, if you're a chick that doesn't, rap too much, you probably solve like 35% of issues with that dude. But no, I'm being legit,
Thank you for the tip.
guys want some peace, but and also let me give an example here. I don't want to mention names, but there's this one chick. She's always like, hey man, I'm garage man. Let me put it like that,
Oof.
And there's a friend, like a friend of mine knows her personally. So he was talking to me. He's like, bro, man, I can only imagine. Like, and don't get it twisted. She's bad. Like, she's fresh. She's beautiful. But he was like, bro, I can only imagine being in a relationship with this chick. Imagine every day we will take 20 boys. Go off out, bro. Like,
oh my word.
Because remember, you are a representation of me and I'm a representation of you. So if I'm like doing my Kanye West missions, for example, I can only imagine how hard it is every time people are asking you. You might not even know what's happening. And yo, did you see Rutendo, what Psycho said? Guys, nanganj nyora zama.
Imagine. Fight.
What is it? So I'm saying, like, then there'll be some people that'll be like, no, but this is me, you gotta take me for me. But now, isn't that a bit more arrogant though? I don't know, maybe
I don't know. I think that's not compromising, unless maybe these guys don't like know each other. Like pokatanga kumuzia Bebu and Psycho, did you know kuti zvekutaura izvi ndozvaanoda? Did you know?
No, we obviously we know, like, Kuti, this is the type of girl she is.
Yeah, because when you meet her akadaro and she like emphasizes kuti inini zvipamuromo nevanhu, I challenge people and what, and then now I don't try kumuchinja. It doesn't look like you're compromising. It looks like you could try like to change her. But if she was someone who maybe say, I'm very opinionated, I say it out loud. But then the guy I'm with then comes to me and says, actually, it causes problems for me in my friends' social circles or in my business social circles. I'll be very happy to. I'll be very happy. Like I can go on with this. I'll be very happy to keep quiet for my family meetings or stop challenging his friends. If it doesn't benefit me in any way, then don't go now. That's a compromise. But
see, you're a good woman.
Only now stop. My exes would disagree.
I know.
So like when akakuona on your podcast, and let's say akakusvikira on your podcast, and you're talking about issues that affect women, but actually take it down. As just a compromise, Mkati, you just have to, like, I know you value this, but can you speak up only when it is beneficial for you? That's a compromise.
No, I know. This is good. You see, you're a good woman.
I'm telling you, my exes do not agree with that statement.
They don't agree with what statement exactly?
You could have a good woman.
So you did something wrong, obviously. But you're on your toxic girl
Yo,
stuff. It's
guys, we are
okay.
not perfect. We are not all perfect.
Hey, toxicity. Anyway, but no, like you know what? I agree.
Mm,
I think we're all always growing. We're not all perfect.
yeah,
For
yeah.
me though, one of the things that I think uh, a good woman represents is accountability. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying?
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. Big
you
one.
know, because
Yeah,
accountability is it's a hard one for not just women but men, everyone. It's hard,
man. Yeah, true.
it's hard to say, you know what, guys, you know, I messed up.
Hmm.
Nah, but
Yeah,
it feels like
yeah,
your
mhm,
your ego is also messed up in the process.
yeah.
So you know, for me, that I
Like
think
I,
that one is also it's quite big. But our time is
yeah,
about to run out. But tell me, because this is also the
yeah.
part. Like that tweet
Hmm.
where you said, you know what, this is why I agree with some of what Shaddai, the toxic king of whatever. Um,
Yeah.
like
Well,
in rough, what were you saying for those obviously that haven't seen the tweet and stuff like that?
also, I was saying, I agree with what Shadaya will be saying. Most of the
Mm,
things. He probably
mm,
delivers them in a very awful way and heartbreaking way.
mm,
But the underlying truths are there. We are now in a society that's running away from universal truths. Virtue is virtue, integrity is integrity. A woman with integrity is desirable. That is a
mm.
prestigious value. So I'd seen a tweet where this girl had said, Nini, if my boyfriend agrees with Shaddai, the relationship is over. So I was like, why? Because the things he's touching on, he's telling you to stay morally upright. He might not be saying it in a very friendly way, but he wants you are the gatekeeper of character. If women all say no at each other, then it won't happen. Men have to marry in order to get things that they want outside of marriage. So
That's
be
true though.
virtuous.
That's
And
true
you
though.
cannot expect to be praised the same way because there's a girl out there who's facing the same temptation that I am and is staying disciplined and it's streets, but she is fighting this, she's staying virtuous. And we're definitely not the same. There's a woman here who's
Mm.
self-disciplined, who's virtuous, and she deserves her flowers. So if a woman is virtuous, please give her her flowers.
Uh,
Yeah. And then I also like touched on the issue of submission a little bit because I'm still also trying to understand that concept. But I
yes,
also
yes.
just said, a woman will submit without having to be told. If you have to tell a woman to submit to you, it's a gone game. A woman will
Yeah.
just submit where she feels that there's respect here. I mean, we naturally submit to our lecturers, to people who think have
Mm.
power. Why can you not submit
Mm.
to a man who you feel is respectable? So if you respect that guy, you will submit. And a man who really loves you just wants to provide and protect you. He won't have to be told, Baba, please, we're in a He just wants you to be safe. He'll do it because he
Mm.
loves you. So that's what I also touched on. So yeah.
Rutendo, you're giving people cheat codes, but it's like I feel like a lot of women don't like hearing these cheat codes. Like you said, with someone like Shadai, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's a way that can work with women. I think the way he talks could work with
Yeah.
guys because guys don't mind. Guys be telling each other live wire all the time.
Yeah. You are a
Uh,
simp.
yeah, no, the dudes we tell each other. Like I think with dudes, reality strikes us
Yeah.
without being told. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've had
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
conversation many times with so many other gents. We already know what kind of faces at the bag status. If you aren't
Mm.
physically fresh, whatever, you're not gonna get
Yeah.
anything. You know, coochie for you, my brother, nothing. So,
Yeah.
but obviously, I think with women, we need to maybe talk in your language because at the end of the day, if you really want people to
Yeah.
benefit, you just talk in a way that they understand. I can't go to a Chinese man
Yeah,
and
that's
talk
true.
in Shona.
Yeah, you
Hapana
can't.
zvinobuda.
And also issue your accountability. It's important because if you cannot be accountable, I need actually, then there's no growth there.
Yes,
So yeah.
but why do you think though that a lot of women like that?
I don't know. I think maybe we've got so many countless of examples of popular women who are not accountable and not virtuous and have made it in life
Cardi
and
B,
are
yeah.
desired by men. So then you kind of like think it's an excuse for me to not be virtuous. Why would I be condemned? There are popular figures in society who have not been condemned. They're desired by men. And then there are examples of women who were virtuous and are being abused by men or are not, getting what they deserve for all that character that they have. So then people with all these examples, they start thinking, well, I'm also entitled to whatever I do. Then they don't take accountability that actually, Sisi, I'm with Rutendo.
Man, I don't know. But hey, I agree with you, to be honest. It also comes down to the role models we have in our society. I wanna just say,
Yeah.
like you said, you guys are the gatekeepers. Honestly, sexual liberation is
Yeah.
beneficial for guys because guys don't have to work as much to get the draws. But if women were to say, you know what, right, unless you're
Yeah.
marrying me or it's something really serious, it's done.
It's
Like
not happening.
it's not
Yeah.
happening. Like for real. So I'd hope a lot more women would want to take that path. Unless you are a woman that doesn't care and you want to be alone for the rest of your life, do you, queen? You know what I'm saying?
No.
Oh, you
No way.
think?
Don't even do you, queen.
No, yes,
You are
queen.
also part of a society.
Yes,
No,
queen.
don't do you, queen. You'll be someone's aunt. So don't do you, queen.
You think a lot of women that say that they actually genuinely want to be alone, though? Like, do you think so?
I wouldn't know. I'm still also trying to discover reasons why people would want that. But I think, it's a lot of reasons. Maybe someone was exposed to really bad companionship and they're just like, this is not for me. So it happens. But I don't know. Even if you decide to go that way, stay virtuous. I mean, good principles are just beautiful everywhere.
That's true. That's true, man. And if a gent listening to this, is the same thing, just have principles,
Exactly.
show that you came from a good home. I think that's the problem. A lot of us are not coming from good homes. That's the problem.
Yeah.
These toxic homes are destroying us. But anyway, obviously our time has run out. I feel like there's so much more that
we can always talk about more in the future.
I think we can always just do a follow up.
Definitely.
Yeah, but for now, thank you so much for coming through. It was such an amazing thing. You shared your 2 cents, but where can people find you on the socials? Where you your handles and stuff like that?
They can find me on Twitter. It's at Rutendo Zimbabwe, ZW. I'll mostly be appreciating feedback on what we've discussed, and if people have other opinions that are like, actually we're wrong about this, or stories of how their personal experiences maybe do not relate to what we're saying, I would appreciate that.
Definitely. I'll definitely appreciate that. So you got the handle. I'm also gonna link it on the socials. But hey guys, if let us know. This is also opinionated, so we ain't perfect. We're just a bunch of 25-year-olds, just trying to figure it out. Until next time.
Thank you.
Oh, I appreciate it. Until next time, kids, don't do drugs. Stay at home, and what's the other thing they say? I don't know. Peace, y'all.
I don't know. Make money.
Yeah. That's it. Make money. Shit. Okay.